Watching the video about the garifuna language in the Caribbean, I felt like I could really relate to it in a way. When I was growing up, I was learning to speak both Spanish and English at the same time by my grandmother and my mom, and all the babysitters we had only spoke Spanish. But when I started going to school, I still had some words and emotions that I would only express in Spanish because that's what I was taught. For example, if something burned my skin, I would say que pica. So I didn't really say like, "Ow, that hurts." I would say "get pica," and I don't know why I did this, but I always did it. But once I got to school, I realized that's not really normal, and other kids don't do that because they don't speak Spanish; they only speak English. Um, so it was really encouraged to only speak English, and if you spoke maybe both English and Spanish or just Spanish, it was almost looked down upon because those kids had to be taken out of class to work on their English, and no one wanted to be those kids in a way. And I felt that it was marginalized to speak Spanish growing up. So I had very negative emotions towards learning it and using it at home or outside of my home specifically. Um, and this really relates to the Garifuna video because in the video, the grandma had explained how the kids said that the schools were playing a large role in them losing the language because the teachers discouraged it and told them, they needed to speak Spanish and this was the language of their country and that's how it should be. Where I feel it's the same thing in the United States, where when I was growing up, it was you need to speak English. If you speak Spanish, it's not helpful. It's only going to hurt you, later. Where the complete opposite is true. Um, thank goodness now, Spanish obviously isn't a language that's going to die anytime soon. It's almost becoming more popular than English itself. Um, but if it were just my generation and it was a very small community that spoke Spanish, honestly, I think that at this point it might be almost gone or becoming an endangered language because growing up we were told not to speak Spanish. Um, but I definitely think that now schools are doing a much better job and people in general are realizing that Spanish and any language that's not English is great to know, and it's time to stop being a monolingual country and start teaching younger kids to speak two languages rather than to just teach them there's only one and it's the only right way. Um, so yeah, it's definitely important to encourage younger kids now to be proud if they speak more than one language and to keep that and keep teaching it and keep using it so that way we learn that English isn't the only way to express ourselves in this country and hopefully one day it'll be a lot different.